Welcome back, Life and Stride podcast. This is episode 276. On this episode, we had Aaron Bienenfeld on the podcast. Aaron is one of Germany's best distance runners with PRs of 13:16 in the 5K, 27:39 in the 10K, and 101 in the half marathon. He's getting ready for his debut marathon in Hamburg this spring. We talked all about his build leading into it. He is coached by Jon Green, trains with his group in Flagstaff most of the year. Also, kind of interesting about Aaron's story is he ran collegiately in the US. So he came from Germany, started out at Cincinnati, and finished up at the University of Oregon. Talked about the whole process of getting here, how he landed in Cincinnati, and then what the experience was like running at the University of Oregon. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you do, please leave a review, drop a comment, share with a friend. We'll catch you on the next one. When we're running through Norton Commons or the Pewee Valley area in Louisville, Kentucky, it's pretty easy to spot Mason Construction Home. The attention to detail, the quality, the stunning design, you can't miss it. It stands out. We aren't just saying that either. Our own co-host Scotty trusted Mason Construction to build his forever home, and he and his family couldn't be happier. Don't tell Scotty this, but we're at his house a lot because we love the home. He's all right too, though. If you live in the Louisville or Southern Indiana area and are thinking about building your forever home or doing a remodel, there is nobody else to trust with this project than Mason Construction. The link to their website is in our show notes. Click on the request information option and start the conversation about what your forever home could look like. So this is my favorite question to ask on the pod.
Mhm.
I went on Jacob and Roy's podcast and we were talking about like who the most swaggy runner is. And I think like the consensus was Seguro Sako, which is like a great answer, right? Like
Okay,
the
yeah,
Japanese
I can see that.
total swag. And then
And he doesn't try, I feel like. He doesn't try that
he doesn't
hard, like
try. He's got like
yeah,
sick hair, he's got cool tats, he's fast.
yeah.
And he wears like speed suits too,
For a
which is really,
marathon, yeah, I saw that.
yeah, that's really swaggy. But then like someone said like Amanal Petros is pretty swaggy guy too. But my answer, yeah,
I
he
don't
kind of
know.
my answer was Johannes Moshman. I was like, that guy is swaggy for sure, bro.
Yeah, yeah, he's up there, he's up there.
But so then I asked Johannes. Johannes has been on our pod like 4 times. I love him,
Yeah.
and he's one of my favorite guests. He's so funny.
Mhm.
And so I was like, "Who's your most swaggy runner?" And he said you. So
I mean, it depends. I guess I look a little bit more, um, I am more self-conscious, like, how I appear, but I wouldn't say I try that hard. I had this debate with Rory a while ago, um he was trying to roast me for it, but basically I was saying I'm willing to take a smaller contract if the brand has swaggy stuff. Like if the clothing looks good, if it makes me look better, if it fits me better, if it's my style. And then he was like, "But how much less money would you take?" And I somehow, I don't know why, like I didn't say that, but he brought up that I said I would take 30K less or something like that
yeah,
for just having a cooler brand. And I think I said something around like 10K or something, I could
yeah,
definitely wing that. Um, but no, I feel honored if Johannes mentioned me. That's really nice.
yeah. It
Shout out
was
to him.
cool. Yeah, shout out to Johannes. He had a solid race at Berlin half. Do you think he was happy with that?
I talked to him, like he said, I don't know how much he shared this with the public, so I don't want to go into detail, but he said he was having some issues, something similar to that I had last year. And I
Hmm.
think all things considered, he ran a pretty solid time because I
Hmm.
could have not imagined like if he actually has the same thing that I had. I don't know how severe it is, but I could have not imagined to run a half marathon that fast with that condition.
What were you dealing with last year?
I had a pubic bone stress reaction, and I think I'm
Oof.
still dealing with like the very end of it, like the rat tail of everything, but basically like that bone in the middle of your pubis. Um, Mine was just in the tissue was inflamed and the bone was bruised, so it wasn't broken yet. But I think you have to do a lot of it for it in order to break. You have to do a lot of things wrong because it's like a very central bone in your body,
Yeah.
and it usually doesn't break. And yeah, just basically like just my left leg just shut down. I couldn't get out with one leg anymore. I had no power in my left leg, and that just sucked when you're running. So you can still jog, like, because jogging is that doesn't need that much strength or force as like lifting. You can still do it, but it was painful. And as soon as I picked it up, like basically anything under 450 mile pace, I could not do it. Like, it was just too fast. So I was, like,
Yeah.
forcing myself to, like, get ready for the marathon in Berlin, because I mean, I don't have to run that much faster than 450 pace.
Yeah.
But, yeah, if I would probably shut it down earlier if I was in the same situation again. I would probably just would have taken the L and, taken some rest and gotten ready for the next one.
Yeah, yeah, it's easier to, like, say that after it's happened, right? Like, when you're in the moment, and you, like, wanna get in the race and like, such a big race like that, especially, it's like, you try to force it a little bit, you know?
Yeah, I was definitely forcing it.
Yeah, I just kinda I have, like, chronic back stuff always, I have, like, a disc issue in my back, and it causes, like, sciatic nerve pain where, like, I get, like, numbness down my leg, but I actually had a sacral stress fracture too last year, which hurt a lot, but, yeah, so, like, I just raced this past weekend at McCurdy
Mhm.
Marathon,
Oh, New York,
and,
right.
I thought my back was gonna be an issue, but it turned out I wore the Puma Fast R3s.
I heard the story yesterday on the run. A
Yeah,
blister?
yeah, yeah.
A blister, yeah.
Rory felt bad. I don't blame him at all, like, those are but now I know you're a Nike guy. The
Mhm.
Alpha Flies have always been good to me, never good blisters, lots of PRs. So, yeah, I was on 219 pace through 20, and my blister got so bad I couldn't put weight on it. I still can't run. So, yeah, so not going
That's
back to the
unfortunate.
race.
But at least
Yeah,
it's just a blister, it's nothing, like, structural, but it still sucks
yeah,
that it is a blister, and, like, you're like, "Oh, yeah, if it was actually something super severe, then I can justify dropping out, by a blister is like,
yeah,
that's yeah, that's
yeah,
unlucky."
yeah, trying to run Boston still, so we'll see. Hopefully, I can, like, maintain some shape, and start
Uh-huh.
running in a couple days.
Yeah.
Um
Yeah, it's coming up soon, I think it's enough time so you don't get like, lose all the tension until then.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Yeah, I'm hoping to do some easy jogging tomorrow, just 4 days off, so should be fine.
Yeah,
Um, dude, well, you just raced this past weekend. This podcast is about you, not me.
all good.
So how did I know like you didn't get what you wanted out of the race, but you're in the middle of marathon training too, so it's kind of like, tough to race a 10K in the middle of the marathon block. How'd you feel after the race?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, I was pretty disappointed because
Yeah.
normally I have a good gauge of like how like what shape I'm in and like how fast I can race. And I guess I knew I was taking a risk by, you know, this being part of the marathon block and like the
Yeah.
marathon being the main goal this spring. But I still was like, I ran 27:39 last year with less mileage and arguably like not like I'm living like a monk right now. I'm trying to do my best with sleeping, eating, not drinking any alcohol. I've been pretty good about this. So I was like, you know what? I am doing all the little things right now. So
Yeah.
why should I not be able to run faster? And I still think that I'm in that shape. But I think the last couple of weeks when I was up here, I was just doing too much. And that's kind of like what I
Mm,
see to be the American approach to distance running is like when things are going well, that you just keep pushing it because it's going well, like you're just getting a
yeah.
little greedy. You're like, oh, this is working. Why not do more of that? And I think I just like didn't recover as well as I wanted to coming off all the workouts. Like the week before, we did a workout in the desert in Cottonwood, and it was like super hot. I think like about almost 100 degrees when I started the workout. Like when I actually did my first rep, it was still
No way.
almost 100 degrees. And I did 4 by mile at like slightly slower than what I was supposed to run. And then like Jon Green was there as well. Then we were like, okay, this is too absurd. Like we need to adjust something.
Yeah.
So we went to doing Ks. So I did 3 by K on top of the 4 by mile, and I was so cooked after the workout. I was just sitting in my car. I was like, "I can't drive back home." I was just sitting in a Speedway parking lot, like, slipping slushy, and, like, I was like my head was ringing. I was like I mean, I definitely got a good workout in, but and it was probably just, like, a little bit too much, and, like, all those little
Yeah.
things kind of add up, so I don't like looking for excuses, but I just think that I'm still really happy about the training I got in. I don't think the training is lost, and I think it was definitely one of the better blocks in my life, but I think I just got a little too greedy, maybe didn't listen to my body enough, and that sucks because it would have been a great opportunity to run a fast time. Because a lot of people
Yeah.
were right around that what I wanted to run was like 27:30. There was a lot of people finishing around that time, and I made it, like, little over halfway, and then my legs just turned to bricks, and, um, yeah, I ran, like, 2K slower than my, half marathon pace. So
Yeah.
I know that's not normal, that's not what's supposed to happen, so I'll just blame it on the additional fatigue, which, I mean, was probably gonna help me for the marathon to, get
Yeah.
more ready for that. But I would have still liked to run significantly faster, like around 27:30, which I still think I can do this year. I'm just gonna have to look for a different opportunity because I definitely gotta have get a 10K in, for the Euro standard and like
Mm.
the German national team standard. And I mean, it's April now. It's still kind of early in the year, but there's not that many opportunities. So
Yeah.
currently looking for another one to do. And yeah, definitely learned from that race. But yeah, that was the risk, like it being part of the marathon block. And I think next time I'm racing one, I'm specifically going to get ready for that.
Yeah, that I was gonna say that's probably hard to, like, balance because I think a half marathon, like, matches up better with marathon training, obviously, but then, like, yeah, the 10K specific stuff, especially with how fast you're running in the 10K, like, to go for 27 mid, you gotta be on the track, like, with spikes doing, some faster stuff too, so it's kinda hard to balance during a marathon block, but that story about running in 100 degrees in Cottonwood, that's crazy, man. I can't believe you were working out that hard in that temperature.
We should have
That's
adjusted that, yeah. That
yeah.
was not smart. Um, yeah, I think you have a point. I mean, I did a bunch of track stuff, but the thing is, like, with us getting ready for a marathon, I didn't really do a lot that's faster than 10K pace, and
Mm.
I think, like, to feel confident at 10K pace, it helps to run faster as well, so 10K pace doesn't feel like it's your highest gear, you wanna be doing, like, mile pace stuff every once in a while, 5K stuff, VO2
Yep.
stuff every once in a while, so it doesn't feel like, this is your max speed. So that's
What
not something we could really do, which I think is alright 'cause, like I said, the marathon is, a little more important right now.
Yeah, for sure. What are the standards you need to run Euro champs this year?
It's just, sub 27:50, so
Okay.
I've ran faster than that time, like, twice in my life, like, a good chunk faster, so I don't think it should be a big problem. I really just need, like, a meet with 3 or 4 guys in it, and then we'll just
Yeah.
all go for it and try to get the standard if I
Yeah,
find
yeah,
that.
okay, yeah, I was gonna say it is tough, like, there's no, like, diamond leagues or anything really that have, like, 10Ks. I know there's a couple maybe in Europe throughout the year, but that obviously the 10 is, like, the big one in the US right now, and there's a
Yeah.
couple, like, you can run maybe, like, Peyton Jordan or something, but I don't know if that would fit your schedule, so, yeah, it's
That's
kinda tough
in
on 10K.
yeah, it's April, May. Yeah, it's a little too early because I'm gonna have to take a rest after like, a break after, the marathon, and then the earliest I can see myself racing is, like, middle of June.
Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah, so that Peyton Jordan wouldn't work, yeah. That's gonna be tricky to find one, but I'm sure you can find something.
There's
Uh,
one not too far away from me in the Netherlands right now that I'm looking at.
oh,
It's like 4 hours by train from where I live in Germany, so could be a possibility. Yeah, reach out and see, if that's a good chance.
how do you split your time, like, of the year? Do you live permanently in Flagstaff or in Germany?
Yeah, as of right now, so I've been living permanently in the States for the last, like, 8 years.
Wow,
Um, I am going to shift my focus a little bit more to being home because of just, like, how long and how much time I've spent here. Um, I still think Flagstaff, like, for me personally, is the best place in the world to train. So I do wanna keep coming back, and, I mean, there's nice people, it's good conditions, it's beautiful landscape, like, way
yeah,
cooler than where I'm from, um, and I don't wanna miss it. It's like I said, it's a privilege to be doing what I'm doing, getting a chance as a, foreigner to be here and be training full time. But I definitely want to I do want to spend more time back at home because I also have good resources there. I don't
Mm.
really have training partners, but there's a lot of people who support me on the bike, and just just being back home is also like the vibes are good, and I just want to spend more time there. And yeah, we'll probably be like around 50-50, maybe 60% home, 40% in the US, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's what Johans is doing right now. He is pretty much basing himself in Germany for his spring build. So because I know he was in Flagstaff for a while too, and then his girlfriend
Last year, yeah. Yeah.
was in like the eastern US. So yeah, he's like pretty committed this whole block to training alone in Germany. So do you guys live close together in Germany or no?
Um, I don't know when the last time he was on the podcast. I think like some stuff in his life changed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't think he's dating someone anymore in the US, but
Oh,
so
okay.
that's why he's more in Europe right now.
Oh,
Um,
okay. That makes sense.
yeah, y- I'd say you live like by train, uh, like 3.5, 4 hours apart. So I
Oh,
mean,
okay. That's far.
it's not a lot in the US. I guess it's a little bit in Germany. So he's not around the corner, but it's also like not super far away. Um, I'm trying to convince him to come by because as I'm like getting my own place in Germany, I'm gonna have like a second room there, and then I just want him to come by so we can train
Yeah.
in Frankfurt together. Because I think like Frankfurt is a really nice place to train. It's just that there's no distance runners because it's not at altitude, but it has everything that you need to be good.
Oh, you're in Frankfurt. Oh, yeah, I think that's a much bigger city than he's in, right?
Yeah, he's in Magdeburg, which is like not as well known because it's in East Germany and it's a little smaller.
Yeah.
But yeah, Frankfurt has really good, like basically anything that you need, resources.
Yeah, that nice. Well, dude, I wanted to talk a bit about like I want to dig into the marathon a bit and like training with John, but um I remember when you were running in college, you started off at Cincinnati. How
Correct.
did
Yeah.
you go from Germany to how'd you end up at Cincinnati? It's such like a random school, I feel like, to end up at. So how'd that work out?
Yeah, I was in German university for a year, and I really liked the like academic aspect of it. Like the education was really good, the level of education was really good. Um, but it didn't really work too well with running at the time, and I always heard about the opportunity to train and study in the States, but I never really had the balls to take initiative and
Yeah,
organize everything. And because like I mean, how where do you even start?
it's a
So
lot.
I this like agency that is kind of known. I've seen a couple of posts on Let's Run about that agency.
Yeah.
Well, I worked with them as well. They're called Scholar Book, and they reached out to me, and I was like, I didn't have much to lose, and I really liked the thought of just because I went to the tourist like as a tourist to the States a lot of times when I was younger, and I was always the highlight of my summer. I was always looking forward to it, and so I was like, yeah, I can definitely imagine living here. And uh, the you the like what you imagine when you get here as a student like differs a lot from like what you get as a tourist. Like like most
Yeah.
people are probably thinking like, oh yeah, you'll be ending up in like New York City or like
Yeah.
LA somewhere, and that's like the bitter reality is that not bitter reality. I don't want to shit on these places, but you just get a
Yeah.
lot of offers from like random cities I've never heard of.
Yeah.
Like I got one from Miami of Ohio, and I didn't know there was a second Miami. I was like, sure, I'll live in Miami. And then I was like going through the emails from the coach, and I was like, something's not right here. I don't think this is Miami, Florida, but I didn't. Is there a second Miami? And then I saw
Yeah.
the OH, and I googled what does OH stand for. It stands for Ohio. I was like, oh, okay, well, it's not in Florida. Okay, good to know. So like basically like 85 of my offers that I got through like working with that agency were mostly like in that area, like Midwest,
Yeah.
South, mostly like the eastern parts of the states. And overall, like I think Cincinnati wasn't really known for its running program back then, but like overall, like the the offer was like it was a good scholarship offer for like how fast I ran back then. I wasn't like super fast. Um, Decent like city.
Yeah.
It's a decent location, like not too far from Chicago. You're close to like an airport.
Yeah.
You're close to a couple other bigger cities. Um, And, like, the school was, like had a decent reputation, so they just told me that's the best offer, like, we were just going through my offers, and they told me, "Hey, this is probably the best thing you can do
Mm.
from, like, what we've seen. This is our number 1 recommendation." I was like, "Sure, like, why not?" The head coach at Cincinnati is also she's a German, she still is there,
Oh,
so
nice.
that made it a little easier for me to, you know, uh build a bridge with the program and feel a little bit more at home. And yeah, so that was just ended up being my pick. I had a couple other D1 picks, I had a couple D2 offers as well, but they like the agency told me I should definitely try to go Division 1.
Yeah, and then you ended up at Oregon. How did that happen? Go to from Cincinnati to the most sought after school in the US for running. How did that happen?
Yeah, so in 2020, I liked Cincinnati for a lot of things. I think it was just right for what I needed at the time, but I think I kind of outgrew the program with like not just like with how I was running, but also like how like what ambitions I had and where I wanted to get with running, what I wanted
Mm.
to achieve. I don't think it was the best like program for people who are like dreaming of more.
Yeah.
And yeah, so when COVID happened, and I found out about like people getting back to outdoor season, it was like, oh wow, that means I'm gonna have a full year of like cross country, indoor and outdoor track. And I was on really good terms with the coaches at Cincinnati. Like, what was it was never a problem. And I was just like really early on, like I was communicating with them. I was like, hey, like since we're getting back that season, I do want to transfer. I'm about to graduate. I'm gonna have my degree. I'm gonna stay for the next year, actually gonna do another degree at Cincinnati, but then the year after, so for the 2022 outdoor season, I wanna be somewhere else. I wanna max out my eligibility because I don't think I've accomplished yet what I wanted to accomplish. I'm not ready yet to go back home. So I planned to transfer pretty early. I think, like, I committed to Oregon in, like, the fall of 2020, but I still ran for Cincinnati until, um, yeah, like, 2021 NCAAs.
Wow.
And yeah, I don't know. It's just I was working with the agency again. They helped me a little bit
Yeah.
uh
Mm.
with the transfer and I um got a bunch of good offers when I went into the portal. And at first it looked like I was going to a rival school of the Ducks, but then um
Huh.
I've previously seen that the agency helped, like, someone from Europe to like, actually, I think 2 people to go to Oregon. I was like, "You know what? Can you just reach out for me?" Like, I actually did race a little bit during the 2020 season. There was a bunch of road races that I did, like a 10K on the road, I ran in, like, 28:46, and then I did a half marathon in, 62:32, I believe.
Oh, nice.
Um at
Yeah.
like 22, 23 years old. And
Huh.
yeah, so those times we just said, hey, this guy has 1 year of eligibility left. He just ran those times on the road. I mean, there wasn't much happening anyways in the world in terms of
Yeah.
racing. So anything that you did was standing out. And yeah, no, I was very surprised to get an email back. And yeah, I got a for me, I got a good offer. Um, it was not as high as, like, other schools would have, like, given like, there's, like, bunch of stuff that you can get paid for, like,
Yeah.
plus-up attendance and all that stuff, so, I would definitely was not making any money with this, but I was like, "Hey, I'm breaking even, and I can live the dream." Like, who would have ever envisioned that I'm one day get the chance to run for one of the premier programs in the world that even non-track people know or heard of. So it was like a no-brainer. Like, um, they gave me like a very short timeline to decide. I was like, I don't even need to think about this. I'll just commit and uh we'll go from there.
What was it like? Like, what was the difference running at Cincinnati versus Oregon? Like, in terms of like maybe like gear and like I don't know, just like the whole experience in general, like facilities and stuff. Was it like an amazing experience running at Oregon?
Yeah, no, I really like looking back to that time. I think there's a lot of different ways you can experience that because some people will be like, "Hey, it's too strict." I think it's a little too performance driven. I don't know. I just don't they don't dig the vibes because like it is going to be more um strict and just, straightforward, and there's not as, you can't fool around as much as maybe at other programs.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really enjoyed my time there, and um, it was just nice to be with like-minded people. Like I never intended to. I never started running thinking I would be a pro or would make money with this, but
Mhm.
I would just nice to see like, hey, this is actually a possibility. Like these people that I'm training with, they are going for that, and maybe I have the chance too. And the um attitude was just very different. Like at Cincinnati, it was more so like, hey, we're running for like while we're in college, but as soon as I'm done with college running, I'm never gonna put on running shoes again. This is just like for the time being, and then
Yeah.
why would we even try that hard? Like we're not moving the needle anyway. So it was just nice that people like that didn't feel judged for trying. Because at the end of
Yeah.
the day, it's only running. It's like you're not curing cancer or anything, but it was
Yeah.
still nice like that you were surrounded by people that yeah, believe they could be believed in themselves and their potential and then believe they could be the best they could be in that program.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I mean, there's, not just on the distance side, the whole program has athletes that are aspiring to be pro. So I think I'm sure being in that situation really helped you like figure out how to make that next step. And like also I'm sure you had workout partners like pushing you to, those
Oh
higher
yeah, yeah,
levels.
that was
So
great.
yeah, because that's a game changer when you have like people in workouts pushing you versus I'm sure at Cincinnati, a lot of the times you're training solo in sessions. So yeah. What did you do after Oregon? Like, did you move straight to Flagstaff, or did you sign your contract right away, or what did you do?
It was kind of complicated. So I had one cross country left in 2022, like the 2022-2023 year. So I
Okay.
ran that cross country. It was a good season, but not quite as good as I envisioned. Definitely wanted to be like a little higher up at
Yeah.
NCAs. I ended up, I think, 14th, and I just missed out on the top 10.
Yeah.
But I was like a little disappointed because I figured, oh, if I manage to get top 10 at NCAs, it's definitely going to help me to sign a good contract. So I just barely missed out. Like I just kind of my legs gave up on the final straight of at NCAs. But yeah, so I just spent the 2023 outdoor season in Eugene because my I was still paying rent and my lease was still going.
Okay.
And then I went over to Flagstaff just to check things out in like the fall of 2023. I liked it enough, thought I should give it a try because had never really been at altitude. So, yeah, it actually took me a minute. So I graduated in December of 2022, and I officially signed my contract like in September of 2023. So it took a minute.
Wow.
Yeah, I had basically announced it at the Berlin Marathon because I was there as a Nike athlete, even though I hadn't really announced it yet. So it was clear to people, okay, he's gonna be with Nike moving forward. And yeah, so I permanently moved to Flagstaff in like January 2024. Um, so yeah, I've been here for about 2 years.
So who was coaching you after you graduated college? Was it still a coach at Oregon? And the Oregon coaches moved around a lot. So I guess who was coaching you after college?
Yeah, so I was still training with the team for a little bit after,
Okay.
um, and was still being coached by the Oregon coach, Jerry, a little bit.
Yeah.
But like every single time I went back home, like to Germany, like, mm, how do I say this? Like, it was just like you just grew apart a little more because
Yeah.
like you're not like you don't have to be there anymore. You're not officially running for Nike or anything
Yeah.
at that moment. So like I grew a little more independent every single time I went back home. And then I started to get coached by Ryan Hall in like the fall of 2023.
Really? I didn't know that. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, yeah, that's how I got to know Rory and all the other guys in town. And yeah, I was being coached by him until August of 2024. Then I was kind of like just in the mood to coach myself, to be honest, because it's always worked well for me if I was coaching myself. And yeah, I was doing that for like 2 or 3 months, and then I started working with Jon Green like end of 2024.
Okay, so John's fairly new. I had no idea you had worked with Ryan Hall. That's kind of, and he just stopped coaching in general, right? Like the pros, because I remember
Yeah.
Rory had to find a new coach and stuff, and um, so yeah, that must have been pretty cool. That'd be, Ryan Hall's an American legend, so that must have
No,
been
I
a
know. Yeah, it
cool
was
experience,
definitely
man.
it was a cool streak of coaches to have, like having worked with like some of the most prestigious coaches in the States as a non-American is it was definitely a privilege.
Yeah, you got Jerry Schumacher and Ryan Hall on your list of
And then yeah,
previous coaches. That's pretty legit.
and then I was with the previous Oregon coach who's now at Virginia Tech, Ben
Yeah.
Thomas. I was a three really good coaches with very different approaches, but they all were successful in what they were doing. And yeah, no, it was a privilege to get this experience and also for my own coaching abilities to just get all that input and learn from them.
Well, yeah, what I was gonna ask was like what have the coaches been super different in how they've approached training? Like have any really stood out as like doing something way different than the others, or have they all been pretty similar, like threshold focused type training?
Yeah, I'd say yeah, Ben Thomas was definitely the most different one. I know he probably doesn't like when people talk too much about his training, but I
Yeah.
don't know if you've heard about it. It's just very different than other training. It's hard to sync up with people that are not
Mhm.
being coached by him because it's of how unique the training is. And I wouldn't. I'm definitely more of a long distance runner. I don't really have a middle distance background, so it's definitely more catered towards, the mile and the 3K and the 800 maybe. But, I like just working on my weaknesses when I was training with him and, like, getting a little faster and, working on my foot speed. And I was also running good times in the 5 and 10K, so I think, um, his training was just good for a variety of distances and just the
Mm.
approach of things, like a lot of jog rest, a lot of heart reps, a lot of very diverse workouts. It was just something I had never seen at that point.
Yeah, huh. That's interesting. Yeah, I've never I mean, you're right. You don't really hear too much about his training, and same with Jerry. Like he kind of keeps his stuff more on the DL. I would like to think I don't see much content about, the Bowerman team per se. But um, so are you like now you're working with John? Are you going to be primarily focused on the roads now? Is this like your official transition from like track to roads over the next like year or two, or are you still gonna? Because I know you just raced a 10K on the track, but are you a road guy now?
Um, yeah, I would like to say so. I think I've had a good run with the track and I still have some goals left with the track. Like I just said it today. I don't want to retire before I haven't run like at least in the 2720s in the 10K. Maybe faster, who knows? I
Yeah.
think I'm still like adjusting to altitude and like higher mileage training and I still have a couple of years left. But yeah, I think I'm just kind of like not fed up with track, but it's just always the same. And I just like the vibes better on the road. You get to see more of a city, just the atmosphere is way better. Like,
Yeah.
and track comes with a lot of pressure. It's just more of a mental game. Like, just it's not a lot of space. It gets really crowded on the track. Like, you're like, oh, if you're like mess up like one split, you're already like panicking internally. You're like, oh no, I was like half a second
Yeah.
too slow in the last quarter. I just sometimes like the road is just like it's more chill and it's definitely a different crowd of people that you surround yourself with. But I just like getting actually to know other places. Like running through a city is just has a lot of appeal to me. And yeah, I also think like I like to think if you're a 10K guy in college, then you're probably not a track runner. You're probably made for the road.
Yeah.
And I tried to, run longer on the track, and I had a good time. I ran a couple PBs after college, but I think um, I have more potential on the road than on the track because I don't think I'll run like a sub 13 5K anytime soon, but I do think that I can run a really decent half and a really decent marathon if I with the like foot speed that I have if I just focus on it a little more.
Yeah, I was gonna say if it seems like I mean, I was looking at some of your results. You've been running the half longer than I realized. I think I was looking at the results. So you ran 101 in 2023 at Riga, right? Was that your debut? No, that wasn't your debut because you said you ran 102 while you were still in college. So
Yeah.
then you ran 101 a few times since at Houston a couple times. Did that kind of tell you like, I'm going to be pretty good at the marathon and half down the road?
Yeah, I mean, the fact that I ran like I've been consistently running 61s and I ran like 61 in my first half after college was a good sign. Then I have to say I think I thought I was gonna progress a little like more quickly because I did run a 61 a few times. Now I'm like at a 61:15, so like I'm just eyeing like that 60
Yeah.
minute window. Um yeah, I figured I was gonna progress a little longer, but I did expose myself to like, new stimulus, which is altitude, like higher mileage training. And I think down the road it will definitely pay off and I'll see like my times drop. Hopefully, like, Hamburg in a couple of weeks will be the first instance of that. But yeah, I think down the road I'm definitely um more made for the longer stuff and the road. I think I'm pretty gritty and usually I'm pretty like um durable and I don't get injured easily, so I think I can flourish on the road.
How have you been handling marathon training so far? Because obviously, like Rory's coached by John, Jacob hops in with them, Nico runs with that group, all good marathoners, right? Have you been like working out pretty well with them for like more marathon specific stuff?
I have to say I was kind of going this hybrid way. I did a lot of like workouts that Rory's also doing before Boston.
Yeah.
So I think we're probably two guys that tend to do better with like shorter distance workouts. Like we can definitely do like a couple of cut down Ks, miles, 400s, and
Yeah.
still run a good marathon. Like whereas other people maybe are like, oh, I need to run marathon pace every single time working out. Okay, today
Yeah.
I'm doing like 6 by 2 miles of marathon pace, then I'm doing like 4 by 5 miles. Like, well, that's a little too much, but like you know what
Yeah.
I'm getting. Like it's always
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like marathon pace and like just a very slow grind. So I've been doing like the quicker workouts with Roy every once in a while. I haven't hit a lot of very specific marathon work, to be honest. I just did my long runs a lot longer than I had to. Like a
Mhm.
lot of other guys that were getting ready for the 10 were doing like 14, 15-mile long runs.
Yeah.
And I consistently have been hitting over 20, which I think also like had me pretty tired. But yeah,
Yeah.
I hope it's gonna pay off eventually for the marathon. And I think like starting this week, I've been taking a little bit of a reset after the track race. I'm gonna do a workout again tomorrow on Friday.
Oh,
And
nice.
yeah, starting then I'll definitely get into more specific stuff. And then I mean we don't have that much time left, but we can definitely hit
Yeah.
like 2, 3 really solid sessions, long runs, in preparation for the marathon.
How'd you choose Hamburg? And I know it's like pretty decent competition at Hamburg, right? So how do you land on that race? Because there's a ton of spring options for sure, some in the US and some different ones overseas too. So how'd you land on Hamburg?
Yeah, no, I definitely wanted to do my first marathon back home. I think if I did it somewhere in the States, first off, like it's my job. I need to kind of do what's best for me to make money. And that's definitely not running in Boston. I don't think I would get much out of that.
Yeah.
Like I would get into the field there, but I think they just, which is fair because it's an American race, they do focus on like either top runners or like the best North Americans.
Yep.
So I was kinda sure I wanted to run, like, back home, And yeah, I was slated to run Berlin Marathon last year, which I ended up not doing, but that is in September, and I didn't want to wait until September, so I was looking for something in the spring, and I mean Hamburg is a big event. Um,
Yeah.
it has a good course. I looked at it, like compared it to all other courses that are in Germany, and it looks pretty decent. Like some like little like rolling hills, but nothing too bad. And yeah, I was just looking for like a big event that has like a good reputation and where, I'm on the radar. If I run well there, then like it helps me to progress my career.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. That makes sense. I mean, there's definitely like the most profit to be made when you are pro and you're running a race in your home country because I'm sure there's like better appearance fee. The people there know you more, right? So there's
Oh
more
yeah.
excitement
Yeah.
to be at that race and stuff. So yeah, that makes perfect sense. I mean, a race like Boston, yeah, it's like, you could go do it, experience it, whatever, right? But if you go run fast in Hamburg, there's a lot more to take away from that for you personally. So that
Yeah.
that makes perfect sense. How are you gonna like approach? Have you seen the start list at all for Hamburg, or what to kind of expect on the start line?
Yes and no. I haven't seen a whole lot. I know they definitely gonna have some fast canyons up front. So I think the race is probably gonna be one in like 205, 204. I can see
Okay.
happening. Um, and then the former German record holder is also in that race.
Oh.
He's run 204, I think, in Valencia. So it would definitely not be easy to come out on top. He also has way more experience in the marathon than me. But yeah, no, just throwing myself in there. So I'll definitely be competing for German podium. Hopefully, I can be at least second fastest German. Do have a lot of respect because I don't know what's going to happen. It's not like I'm going for a 10K or from a 10K to like a 15K, and I'm like, yeah, it's just 5 more K. I can wing it. It's
Yeah.
like a whole different territory, and I want to approach it with a decent amount of respect.
How do you think, like, based on your training and stuff, how do you think you're gonna pace the race? Have you heard of like pace groups, or do you think you'll go out in like 104, 105, or what are you planning on pacing it at?
Yeah, I mean, by the time like the race is taking place, I'm trying to be like in like 60 high minute half shape.
Yeah.
I think which is realistic. And yeah, based of that, I think I definitely do want to try to run a sub 210 in my first marathon. I know it's not easy, but I'm also not like fresh out of college and
Yeah.
just getting to know everything. I think it's fine to have somewhat of a standard for the first one. And yeah, so I just talked to the organizer, and my management about pacing, and I think like 302 per K is like a low 208, I believe. So
Mm.
yeah, it'd be nice to run around that, like or like to at least go out in like a 208.30, 208 flat, and then just see how long I can hold on and what I can make out of it.
Yeah, that sounds like a really reasonable time for you considering what you've been running in the half consistently and who you've been training with and it sounds like your workouts have been going well. So that'd be a great debut. I will say German marathoning and German distance running in general, because I know the 10K record just went down too at that
Yeah,
race you were in.
yeah.
Do you feel like German distance running is getting like much better than it's ever been? And also like do you feel some pressure to perform with these guys now that it's leveling up so much?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like I think that all the time. Like that's basically the reason why I waited so long to run a marathon because we had a bunch of guys just it was more competitive than in the US in marathon running. And I mean, we had a guy get second at Worlds last year, and we have two guys who've now run 204. The third guy has run 205. So it is quite competitive. And I'll be honest, like I need to go into the race thinking like I can break 210. I can maybe break 209 because otherwise what am I doing? Like they don't need another like 210 guy or like slower. Like I just need to make a statement like or at least need to try to make a statement. Like I can't play too safe as early as I can because we are like competitive and like even behind those like couple 204, 205 guys. We have a 206 guy. We have a couple of 208 guys, 207 guys. So it is probably have like around 10 people in the country who can run sub 210. So
Yeah.
there's definitely some pressure. Um, Especially because you don't get as many chances in the marathon and like you need to nail the ones that you have. But
Yeah.
I think just having stayed on the track for a long time, um, I think I do bring the prerequisites to succeed. Um, and I do have a good marathon coach. I have
Yeah.
really good marathon training partners. So I'm set up well and it's yeah. Of course that's not everything. It's also other factors at play, but I definitely have what it takes to yeah. What do you say? How do you say that in English? Like to take a big swing?
Yeah. Yeah. Take a big swing. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm curious, like, why you think German distance running has gotten so much better over the last like 5 to 10 years. And Johan said something the first time we had him on about like German coaches kind of do things differently, maybe than US coaches have a different training philosophy. I'm not sure exactly. I don't remember exactly what he said, but it seems like, a lot of the top Germans are like, for example, like Petros works with Canova, right, in Kenya.
I think so,
And
yeah.
yeah, Canova coaches him. And then, like, you're in the US, like several of them have kind of outsourced to their coaching to like outside of Germany. Like, what do you think is like making Germany so good at distance running right now from like really 5K all the way up to marathon? It's pretty high level. Like, what do you think the big change has been?
Mm, I do think there's still a lot of outliers
Yeah.
so that we don't have the depth that the US has, but we have a
Yeah.
few bodies and that just make it look a lot better. I
Yeah.
mean, to be fair, we also had like a really good guy in the steeple. Wasn't that 10K, he ran like 27:25 or 26 or something like that. Um, we've had someone in the world championship final in the 1500. So there is like, a few good people. I think it's just like part of the general like development that people like. I think the number one reason people are getting better is not just the shoes, but also the fact that like now you can make a career out of running and people can dedicate more time to it. It's just
Mm.
training's more professional because people can afford to be full-time coaches and then
Yeah.
people can afford to be full-time athletes. And if you're actually let people, develop well and they don't have to stand on their feet all day and work a second job, which I mean, I really respect when people do that 100%. But
Yeah.
if you take that away and you get better recovery, you can get in another hot workout, you can spend time at altitude, get that in. I think people are just more prone to reach their full potential, get closer to their full potential. I think kind of that's what's happening worldwide. And I mean, Germany is not a small country. Like we do have like 85 million people.
Mm.
So there's eventually going to be someone who's really good at running,
Yeah.
or maybe more than just someone, a few
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. Several. Yeah. Yeah. I think like, people know more about training and nutrition and, gear more than ever before now. So that's important too. Um, I wanted to ask, I love hearing this from marathoners, like kind of what their nutrition and like fueling plan is. So, what are you going to do like the morning of the race and then during the race? Like, in morning of, I mean, like, are you going to take Nomeo, bicarb, that kind of stuff? And then what are you going to take during the race?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna take Nomeo. It's pretty easy for me to put down. And hey, why not? I've been
Yeah.
taking it for a bunch of different sessions and I've never had any bad experience. And
Mm.
I feel like overall, like my adaptation always has been a little better. At altitude taking Nomeo. Yeah, regarding fueling, I definitely need to practice like to just get in more carbs. I just always used to raw dog runs when I was younger, and now like John's forcing more carbs down my throat,
Yeah.
and like we've been like counting the grams of carbs that I've been taking on long runs, and I could definitely take a little more. I think that would help
Yeah.
to just take up a little more, but I just never really practiced that, so that's just interesting to get that in now. Yeah, I'll just think I'll try to put down a gel before, get in enough in the days before the race, have a gel just like 5 minutes before the race, and then I know I'm gonna have to take um some stuff during the race, but I never really had stomach issues, but I just don't like it's just
Yeah.
I just don't like putting stuff down my throat while I'm running. It's just
No.
I don't like the feeling while I'm like running fast. Like it's not ultra running where like on a trail and we can take a little pit stop and like refuel like you're running like sub 5 minute pace. And
Yeah.
I just don't like the fact of like having to swallow something. Um so yeah, we'll just try to optimize like my carb intake a little bit more until Hamburg, and I think that's the number one thing I have to work on. Other than that, hey, I'm always someone who says like whatever is legal and you think may work for you and doesn't cause you any distress, I recommend taking. Like,
Hmm.
I mean, what else is there? You could take like beet juice, maybe,
Yeah. Do
beta
you,
alanine, maybe. I don't know. Depends
yeah,
on
yeah,
these
beta
days.
alanine. Do you use bicarb or no?
I do use bicarb. I also do
Mhm.
think it works for me. I just have a hard time putting it down. So I
Yeah.
don't know if I'm gonna do it before the marathon. Um, I don't get issues during the race. After, sometimes I feel a little funky,
Yeah.
but the biggest problem is actually putting it down. I rarely finish an entire bowl, and that's a problem for me. It's just I don't know. It's like the taste, consistency, and like just it being salty and sweet at the same time. It's just
Hey, yeah, it's
my
gross.
head does not like that. It's just I don't think any brand is really making a bicarb that's delicious to put down. Correct
Yeah.
me if I'm wrong, but that's like the main issue with bicarb for me.
Yeah, I think I've heard people say like, it is helpful in a race like a marathon, but you're, you know, there's like a 1 in 4 chance that you might have stomach issues during the race. So it's kind of like a high risk, high reward kind of thing. But it does seem like a lot of the top marathoners are doing it.
They
So
are doing it? Okay, I wasn't sure. I mean,
yeah,
but honestly, it depends, like, on a course like Boston, I think it makes more sense with the hills,
yeah, yeah,
to try to keep your lactate down as you're running uphill. Um, I said I never had problems in a race before, but to be fair, I've never done a marathon,
yeah,
so I don't know how it would sit in my stomach if I'm running for 2 hours. I just know it's fine if I'm running for 15 or 30 minutes, that's not a problem.
yeah,
Um, maybe I should take it before a long run and just test it. I have some time left, but I mean, like I said, I think you should take anything that you think might help you and
yeah.
doesn't cause you any harm, then why not take it?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, as a pro athlete, yeah, that's the mindset to have, right? Is like I'm gonna take, what I need to take to perform at the best as long as it's not, Alberto Salazar type, level
Oh
stuff,
yeah, no,
right?
it has to be legal, of course, yeah.
Yeah, 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 of course. Yeah. So no, that's the right thing. That's the right way to look at it. I think like JT and Rory do take it before marathons is my understanding. I've never done it. Little too high risk for me, but something like
Like never
Nomura,
in general or before a marathon?
I've never taken it in general. Yeah, I've never taken
Oh,
it.
okay.
Yeah. So
That's
I never
interesting.
race on the track though. Like so I don't
Okay, okay,
really
fair. Yeah,
yeah.
small
I
track
rarely
then.
even work out on the track. So yeah, so I don't know.
Okay,
But
yeah, that's fair then, that's fair, yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I would work out on the track more, but we don't really have access to tracks here. They kick us off, so
Where do
gotta
you
work
live?
on Louisville, Kentucky, about an hour south of
Oh,
Cincinnati, so pretty close to
yeah,
Cincinnati.
no, I went to the Louisville Classic in
Yeah.
2018. It's my first, sub 24 8K there.
Oh, nice. That's
Yeah.
I ran at the University of Louisville for 1 year, but I didn't like it, so I transferred to a small D2 in Louisville
Uh-huh.
called Bellarmine,
Y
and
Yeah, I know them, yeah, I've raced them a bunch of times.
yeah, yeah, and, yeah, I broke, the school record. I ran, like, 23:59 at the Greater Louisville Classic, and it's still there today. So maybe we were in the same well, now, I
What
would've
year was
been
that?
that it was way before you probably, so,
Yeah, I did
like,
in 2018.
mine was, like, 2016, so, like, a couple years before, yeah, a couple
Okay,
years before.
that's funny.
So, yeah, different race, but that is funny. Yeah, that's a good course, good park. I like that one.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, dude, that's all I got. I really, appreciate it. And yeah, I'd love to have you on more often, like Johan's. This was really fun, and I'm really excited. I think you have a lot of potential in the marathon for sure. It seems like it's kind of like gonna fit you really well. So
hopefully.
we'll see how it goes. Yeah, if you have a great one at Hamburg, I'd love to get you on and kind of break down the whole race weekend.
Yeah. No, I mean, you know, having Roy as a training partner, he is experienced. I mean, he's one of the best marathon runners in the world at this
Yeah.
point, and he did tell me about, like, what he thinks I'm capable of, and I haven't done it yet. I don't like talking about stuff that could
Yeah.
potentially happen because I was talking a little bit before the 10K, and then I didn't race too well in the 10K. But I think, like I said, since the marathon is the overarching goal um, for the spring, um, I am going into it with a positive mindset and, like, just hearing his, like, very, like, his belief in me that
Yep.
I can run a seriously good time because, like, normally, like, he has a pretty good grasp of, like, how fast he can run and how fast others can run, and just because he has that experience, he's seen what training it takes to run what times. So, just having, um that in the back of my head, I think I'm, in a good spot and, see that I've, done the training to compete with, some of these people.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, that's good to hear from someone like him. Is there what's your guys like training runs like? Do you guys like talk smack or are you competitive with each other or is it pretty like chill environment?
I'd say in general, like, I'm a very neutral person. Like, I can talk
Yeah.
smack, but I don't have to.
Yeah.
I know he's pretty competitive, so
Yeah.
in nature,
Jacob is
um,
too, man. Jacob will talk smack for sure.
nah, he'll do that too. Yeah, he'll do that too. Um, yeah, so I'll do whatever other people do, I guess.
Yeah.
I can go either direction.
Yeah. I feel like when you get a lot of high level guys in a group like that, it can get competitive kind of naturally, you know? So makes
Oh
sense.
yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But dude, thanks for making time for me. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I feel like we get so many like we have a lot of German listeners, and I think it's because we've had Johans and like a couple other German people on the pod. So yeah, the
Oh,
German
who else
listeners
would you
will
have?
I'm trying to remember. I know we've had more than one. I don't know off the top of my head. I know we've had other German
Yeah.
athletes on here, but we've had Johan several times. I know, but we had someone else. I'm blanking. I'm scrolling down, but I'll tell you after. But yeah, so like we do have a lot of German listeners like randomly though. So
That's
yeah, they'll
dope.
be really excited to hear your name.
Yeah, I think people back in Europe, they just like the grind, like, culture in the US. We don't really have a it's just a different vibe in Germany. I think it's nice that, like, the American podcasts are, like, more broy, if you
For
know what I
sure.
mean. Like, it's more laid back
Yeah.
and it just feels like more of a chat, whereas, like, in Germany, it's just a different vibe. They also have, like, good running podcasts, but, it's just something that we don't have back home.
Yeah, we try to keep ours pretty light for sure. Like we try to keep ours more like banter style than like organized, you know, so it's
See,
kind
that's
of
what I'm saying. Like, yeah,
more
that's a good
conversational.
niche. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it's good. It's good. Yeah. So it's been like it's been pretty crazy how fast this one's grown for sure. We've been doing it for a couple years and it's doing pretty good. So yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Nice to
telling
hear.
Johan, you and him should do one, man. You guys will have a great pod. So we'll see.
It's funny, I texted him, like, a couple weeks about it, and he's like, he's currently he just started doing a podcast,
Yeah. With
somewhere else.
Mass
But I was like, "Hey."
Independent. Yeah.
Yeah, right, 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 but I was like, "If you're ever free again, I mean, dude, we have an interesting story, like, we're the only Germans that I can think of, at least, that, try to make it work in the States after college. We've
Yep.
been back and forth, we have a lot of, like, similar decisions in life because I was like, he's with his family when he's back home. I was mostly with my family when I'm back home. We're just always living out of a suitcase, just always in
Yeah.
a different place, just traveling all the time. And then we always come back to Germany to, like, all those Berlin races, have a good time there, and, like, spend time together there. So, we had a lot of stuff in common. I was like, "Dude, it would be amazing to talk about it." I think we like, at least I don't think I've ever fully shared my story. I don't think you have fully shared your story. I think there's a lot more people
Yeah.
can learn about you. Who knows? Maybe in the future, I'd be definitely be down. But yeah, it's something to keep in mind. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you guys have such a good list of contacts too. You know, so many good runners like, that you've come across along the way. I'm sure you have a lot of, good people you can just shoot a text to and get them on a pod. So
Yeah.
yeah, I would definitely listen to that. If it was in English, I would definitely listen. yeah, I'm a big fan of both you guys. So yeah, I would love that. I was trying to convince Johan, so we'll see what happens. He mentioned it the last time we had him on. He was like, "Yeah, Aaron texted me, and we'll see." So
That's funny. I'll make it work. I'll do anything to make it work. I would be down
yeah,
already. Yeah.
yeah, dude, you
That's
guys
great to
should.
hear though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think you guys would do great. Little extra income source too. So easy to set up. So yeah, you should do it. But sorry, man, I'll quit rambling. Thanks for coming on. I
No, no,
really
of course.
appreciate it. And yeah, I'd love to have you on after Hamburg. If I'm sure you'll smash it, so we can kind of break down the whole race weekend. I always like doing like just hearing about the whole weekend as a whole. So yeah, I would love to do that. So
Yeah. I know I'm excited. I'm also happy I still have a couple of weeks left. Definitely get to like get my legs under me again. But yeah, we got enough time and I think we're in a good spot.
yeah.
And hopefully, yeah, talk to you after the race.
All right. That's episode 275, Aaron Bienenfeld. I'll put your Instagram in the show notes. Please give him a follow if you don't already. One of the most swaggy runners out there. So give him a follow. But all right, we'll
First
catch
time
you
I'm
on the
hearing
next one.
that.
Yeah. Well, Johan's voted for you. So, that means a lot. But
That's a pretty
anyway,
strong vote. Yeah.
yeah, it is. He's a swaggy guy. So, yeah, I
Yeah,
trust
yeah, he
him.
is. Yeah.
But all right, we'll catch you on the next one. See ya.